Hello there, and welcome back to Midlife Rises. I'm Cheryl. To me, like it was just yesterday that we were all coated down, and now here we are, and I absolutely love it. I just love the warm weather. Today, I'd like to talk to you about fighting off midlife loneliness, so do not go away. Years back, it was understood that loneliness took place with the elderly, like the 60, 70, 80-year-olds. Well, things have switched up a little. Now it's not like that. It's actually tackling candidates in their 20s and 30s. And they're actually blaming it on social media. What they're saying is that people are trying to compete in terms of having likes. And if they're not, a social butterfly, then they run the risk of not having as many likes, and that actually brings on loneliness. Can you imagine? I was surprised to hear that too. But anyways, because this is a midlife talk show, gearing to men and women over 40, we're going to focus on that group tonight. I wanted to cover this because I realized that we are still in the pandemic season, and there are a lot of folks that are still either living alone or spending a lot of time by themselves, which can pose a problem. Loneliness is an emotion. It's a negative emotion. Loneliness, anger, bitterness, all of these items are falling in the group of negative emotions. We always cover emotional intelligence on this channel because it's important. These things are, it's what makes us up. It's your mind, it's the way you process information. Gearing up to midlife, we have experiences, and most of them are negative ones. And for folks that do the self-talk, because we all have that private talk show, right? We have things that we tell ourselves, and it might not necessarily be a fact, but we believe it. It is our story, and we stand by it, that kind of thing. That can take a negative effect, because if you're constantly spending time alone, which I don't condone, I think the me time is very important, but it has to be the right kind of me time. Like if you're spending a lot of time by yourself and you're doing negative self-talk, that is not positive. Those are two combinations for what I call a perfect storm. Because if you're not mingling, you're not getting out there, and again, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, it's easy to get depressed. Constant sadness brings on depression and so on. But when you have loneliness, and I was surprised to hear this, it is not very healthy. It can actually bring on sicknesses, mental ailments, like you can have heart disease, and you can ultimately get dementia from having constant loneliness. Just being within yourself and doing these negative self-talks, you're setting yourself up to be a bomb, so to speak. It's not a good combination. It's not a good thing to do, and it is not a healthy thing to do. So I decided to just kind of talk about that this week. I decided to make that my topic because we've got to stay healthy. We've got to feel good within ourselves. I am a sole believer of protecting yourself. Like for me, I'm a very sensitive person. I hurt easily, and so it's important to have the circle of friends that would be sensitive to that fact. Kind of have people who are going to be good custodians of my heart, so to speak. You don't want to be around people that's not going to be sensitive to your feelings, hurting you and putting you down. All of these things can cause one to become secluded. And again, the me time is important if you're doing it the right way. It builds self-awareness. But if you are not mingling and you're doing the negative self-talks, that is not a good combination, because you can end up having cases of loneliness, and we don't want that to be prolonged, because again, it can lead into diseases, and dementia is something that is rampant now. I don't know why that is like hitting every other household. Before the pandemic, I used to try to fly out on my own. I did that on purpose just so that I can have that me time to get out of my situation and look in. I would even have episodes of crying if I needed to. And by the way, crying is not a sign of weakness. It helps you to flush out, to replenish. Because when you hold that stuff inside, it kind of functions like poison in your system, and you don't want that. Like, I will sit comfortably and talk about all the things that are bothering me because I don't want to hold that stuff in. I want to let it out, and that is the healthy way to go about things. We are not all social butterflies, I understand that, but just be conscious of not allowing yourself to become too secluded, because it's really not a good thing. It's summertime here in New York. I don't know what part of the world you're in, but try to get out, get some form of exercise, watch a movie, laugh a little. We are still not fully out of the pandemic, so a lot of people are still, like, some are living alone. Try to get out, try to get some exercise. Your body has natural feel-good mechanisms, which is called endorphins. You can get that ignited by just doing a little form of exercise, walking, running, what have you. Just try to not go within where you are having cases, long cases of loneliness. You do not want to go that route. Check us out at midlifecrisis.com. We go through stuff like this all the time on the channel. Click on that bell icon and subscribe to the channel so that you can be part of the community. Okay? And we will see you next time. Take care now.